When we think about Women's Month, we want to speak to areas that women can easily struggle when it comes to relationship dynamics, specifically with communication patterns. Now, please keep in mind this is not necessarily a hard and fast rule. It doesn't mean that every single woman struggles with this or that men don't struggle with it, but we're just speaking to frequent behavioral patterns that we see. One area that is frequently an issue with communication for women is clear, direct, assertive communication in a healthy way. And so what that means is it's very common to fall into a cognitive distortion, especially for women, called mind reading, where you want other people to read your mind, where you want loved ones or people in your life to know what bothers you, or to know what your preferences are, or what your needs are, or whatever that is. And you want them to know that just because they know you. And that is a distortion because it's unfair to that other person because you have not communicated it clearly, what that need is, that preference is, whatever that may be. So it's important to address that, because if you fall into that mind reading pattern, then you, if you're wanting other people to read your mind, can get really frustrated or feel really invalidated or feel misunderstood because nobody really sees you. But the reality is, if you feel misunderstood, it's because you're not clearly communicating what you need or what you want or something about you. And so that requires direct, clear, assertive communication to your loved ones on what that is. And then you can hold that expectation for them to understand that or to remember that or retain that because you did communicate it. And then you can have a conversation about why you feel misunderstood or why someone's not hearing you. You can also fall into mind reading where you start assuming what other people are thinking without them having told you that. And that's also problematic because assumptions are almost never helpful, and it's their responsibility to communicate with you what their needs and preferences and desires are, just as it is yours with them. So that cognitive distortion of mind reading is really problematic. It creates a lot of conflict and tension that doesn't need to happen if you decide to clearly communicate in open, vulnerable, and direct ways.